I just want to let you all know and let the public know, in keeping with what we say is transparent, we had an incident not on campus. We locked the school down. There were gunshots fired. At the time, the school was let out about approximately 15:48, 15:50. Several gunshots were fired toward the students. At this time, no one was injured. No one was injured. We are pursuing an armed suspect in this area, a male suspect that the community we are currently looking for. Winston-Salem Police Department, Sheriff's Office are currently looking for the person that fired the shots. All we know is what I'm telling you, that approximately 15:48, 15:50, male came out of the wood line and started firing shots at the student as they were coming out. That's what we know currently, and as I know more, I'll let you know. But again, no one was injured. We're currently tracking the suspect. Let the public know we do have K9s in the unit tracking them. So I want the public to know, getting that information out there, is none of the kids were injured. The school went on lockdown. Immediately rushed the kids back into the school because it happened just as they were leaving. We had to rush them back into the school for their safety.
Is that wood line? Is that the one you're talking about?
Right there, man.
Okay, okay.
And where were the directions, where in terms of the building were students coming out of?
Well, so the school let the students out as they normally do. As the kids started dispersing out into the open, several shots rang out.
Do you know how many shots?
I do. I know approximately. I can tell you several.
You said it was a male suspect?
It was.
And have you found any shell casings?
Oh, we have.
Okay. And where along this perimeter did you find shell casings?
That I like to hold for a minute. We have people over there from our G unit currently examining, collecting evidence.
Boy, man.
Excuse me?
But the suspect, boy, man.
You say boy or man, all I can tell you is a male suspect, what was told to me. I did not see him. I'm assuming a boy and a man could be basically look like a boy, but it could be a man. I have no idea. I can tell you is that it was a male subject, appeared to be Hispanic descent, is what was told to me.
Do you know if the tennis team was practicing by any chance?
That I do not know. That I do not know.
And are y'all searching any neighborhoods that are on lockdown or need to keep their eyes peeled for a while?
So basically anything around this area, Peters Creek, down Brewer Road. We have several units saturating the area. Winston Police Department, both of our K9 units are saturating, tracking the scent of the suspect as we speak.
In terms of why a person would be shooting at students, do you have any idea if this person was connected to Parkland?
You know, I have no idea. As I said on many occasions, sometimes things that happen in our community have a way of coming back into our school. That we do not know because, as I said, the investigation has just begun.
So you know that there were shell casings, I'm sorry, you said. You know there were shell casings found, but do you know where did the shots come near the school?
And right now, we have a whole team of people investigating. What I do know is what I'm telling you that's factual. We have shell casings.
And can you tell us the role the SROs played in getting kids back into school?
The SROs played a very significant role. That's getting the kids back into the school and basically pursuing the individual.
So it was a foot chase after they heard the gunshots.
They lost the individual. They did.
How many SROs do you have here now?
Sure, that's a good question. On any given day, we have 8 to 10 here now since the first incident we had out.
Since the first incidents, you've had 8 to 10?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, okay.
But typically, on the normal circumstances, we have 1.
Okay. And that first incident, it was at the Mount Tabor situation or whenever there was a gun that was found on campus?
It was almost right there. I couldn't give you the exact date. It was right there together.
Okay.
I couldn't give you which incident, but...
You said typical, but today, just to clarify, 8 to 10 SROs today.
Yeah, we've had 8 out here since last week.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, just get your thoughts as well.
Yeah.
I mean, with the recent shootings, Mount Tabor High School, I mean, what are your thoughts, about the entire situation?
You know, my thoughts are, as I said this morning, as I spoke with Mr. Sexton yesterday, while I'm the sheriff, we have to make a decision. How safe do we want our schools to be? What resources are we going to deploy? What is the cost attached to that? At some point, the question has to be asked. I can't engage with my arms behind my back. I need the resources to do what I need to do to ensure our schools safe. I mean, this should not be happening. I our kids today to come to school without worrying about whether or not they're going to be shot or whether there's a fight going to be broken in school. I mean, the here and now is now. The here and now is now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not a lot of talking, not a lot of meetings, not a lot of consulting. The here and now is now.
And can you tell us what's happening right now in terms of this investigation and keeping kids safe?
Right now, we're trying to get the kids back to their loved ones. We're trying to reconnect them to their families. As you saw, many kids are scared. Many kids are wondering, does this become my norm? I was talking to parents, saying, hey, I can't keep doing this anymore. It's better to homeschool my kids. I can't give them the answer. All I can give you is that we're going to do our level best to keep these schools safe with what we have.
On that note, what we have, do you feel like you have enough resources to address situations like this?
No, I don't. I don't have enough resources. There's no other way to say it. I can't do this. I got to have more resources now.
So are the resources, are the resources that you're talking about people?
I'm talking funding. Okay. Funding allows me to hire people.
Well, what else would you do with funding if you had it?
If I had the funding, I could do so many things, from technology to human resources. There's a plethora of things I can do. The people elected me as the sheriff, the people elected me to provide security for this county. I know how to do that. Give me what I need and allow me to secure the community.
Well, and I want to ask you, what is y'all's cooperation with Winston-Salem and Forsyth County schools?
There's a great relationship that we have with the Forsyth County schools. Make no mistake about it. I have a great relationship with them. They have a great relationship with us. We just got to come to a place where, what are we going to do? I know what's needed, but what's needed involves resources. What's needed requires funding.
I want to ask you, how are you holding up? How is your department and the officers that are responding to these scenes? It seems as if it's every other day. How are y'all holding up right now?
I mean, candidly, it's stressful. It's stressful every time you hear that shooting. I get angry. I'm tired. I'm frustrated. We can handle this. We can handle this. The police department, the sheriff department can handle this. But let us handle it. Let us do our job. Give us the resources to do it. You have professional people at the helms of both of these agencies that could do this, can get it done. We can't make decisions based on dollars and cents because those decisions don't make good sense. They don't. We're talking about lives. We're talking about children. It's frustrating as hell to me. I have children in the school system. It's frustrating to me. This ain't no joke to me. This is my community. This is home to me. I know what needs to take place here. We're either going to do it or we're going to keep having this.
Let me ask you, too, about the issue of gangs, because ever since Mount Tabor, that's been a topic that the district attorney's brought up and many other people have been continuing to talk about. I mean, how much pressure does it put on y'all knowing that there's a gang presence in the school system?
Here's what I would tell you. The facts are the facts. If the facts are the facts, then the facts gotta matter, period, right? So what I'm saying is, it's a fact that we have gangs in this community. That's a fact, right? So if we have gangs in this community, let's do the logic. What are the community? What do we educate them at? In our what? In our schools. So what happens in our community comes in our school. And if we know that, then we gotta have the resources to address that, period. There's no ifs and ands about that. Because when they walk in the school door, they don't stop being a part of what they are. It comes in the door with them. You don't stop being a part of when you come in the doors. You can call this school A, you can call it school B. Take the names off of it. The facts are still the facts.
Whenever it comes to this situation, first of all, do you know how many students were walking that way in a group that were shot at, and who first heard the shots? And have you been able to get with those kids to check and see how they are?
Some of the kids are being interviewed as we speak now. I spoke to some of the kids, not the ones interviewed, but I spoke to some of the kids just making sure they're all right. Some of the kids I know from when I was working at Philo. A lot of the kids that are here, I know. And so I've just been talking to kids, making sure they're all right, talking to the staff, making people all right. Because not only is this a physical attack, this is a mental attack. This is a psychological effect on the men and women that teach here. It's a psychological effect on the men and the children that go here.
I mean, this right here was a moment of they were walking
This is Winston-Salem, North Carolina. This is not a third world country. This is not a country under attack. This is Winston-Salem, North Carolina. This should not be happening.
But just to be clear, it's too early to say that this was gang related in any way.
Oh, it's too early to say that. It's too early to say that. But it's not too early to say that shots were fired at kids. That's a fact.
Have y'all ever had a situation?
I've never seen this before. No. Who does that? That's recklessness. Who does that?
You talked about resources funding as well. From your personal perspective, what do you think the long-term solution is?
But here's the thing, the long-term solution is great. You can't just bite an elephant or swallow an elephant with one bite. It's gonna take many bites to address this. But while you're addressing that elephant, you have to have a here and now solution. You have to have something to put in place. You have to have a stopgap right now. You have to have something. You cannot keep going and thinking that it's gonna work itself out. You can't. You can't do that. Because guess what? If you know there's a problem, right, then I've got to have resources to cover not just the school, but to cover the area. If I know there's an issue, okay? If we know there's an issue, you got to cover that whole problem. I can't wait on long-term solutions. I can't. Because by the grace of God, we don't have a kid struck. By the grace of God, we don't have a kid dead tonight. By the grace of God, we're all gonna go home uninjured, but not unscarred mentally.
I want to ask you, what is your message to the parents and the students, not just leaving today, but going to football games tonight,
Well, here's
and
what
then
I would-
showing up to school on
Here's
Monday?
what I would tell you. I'm gonna keep living my life. When I leave here, I'm gonna go to a football game tonight myself. I'm gonna get in my car and I'm gonna go to the West and Mount Tabor game, okay? What I would tell the parents is, I'm gonna do my part. We're gonna be vigilant. Nobody's gonna bully us. Nobody's gonna keep us from coming and doing our job, and we're gonna take this serious. And I want the community to know that Bobby Kimbrough and the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office, we're gonna find who did this. It may not be in an hour or two, but we're gonna find them. I promise you that. I'm gonna do everything I can with what I have to make sure your children are safe in the school. Even if it means, like I've been doing, patrolling the hallways myself. I promise you that.
What can you tell us about, there's a lot of police presence up there by the tennis courts. What can you tell us about the situation up there, if it's any
What I can
connection?
tell you is that, as I always say, right now there's a lot of things happening. It's fluid. There's an investigation going on. Shots were fired at these kids. That's a serious incident, right? So we have a lot of things going on right now to try to find out, right? Again, I appreciate you all. I love you. I thank you for your time. I just want the community to know that no kids were injured. It did not happen on the grounds of the school. So I appreciate you, and I promise you, we're going to find out who is responsible for this. Thank you. Thank you all.